Good evening, y'all. Sorry, I'm on Black People Time. We're having technical difficulties all the way around the board. And you know what? That is what happens when you are live. I insist upon doing my podcast live, and this is what happens. So we're going to roll with it. We're going to get a few minutes to get settled in and let a couple people join in. Once you guys join in, go ahead and send me a message in the chat so I will know that you're there. Again, this is DJ Miss Tan Talks. And tonight we are doing Venus versus Mars. So last night we did our first run through. This is our first live show that I'm going to publish. So fingers and toes crossed as we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know what my podcast is all about. DJ Miss Tan Talks. Okay. So if you know me, you know that I'm a DJ, but I also like to talk. Another part of my podcast features what I like to call live through it. So throughout my life, I have been experiencing some traumatic events. And here lately, it's gotten to be within the last 2 or 3 years. In 2018, my son was killed. In 2020, my sister was killed. So my goal in this life is to help people live through it. Also, I will be featuring sometimes my foundation, which is called Jacoby's Heart. And Jacoby's Heart focuses on siblings who have lost siblings. So many times when we have death in the family, the children are simply forgotten about. When a sibling dies, the mother and the father are focused on, but nobody really takes care of the siblings. And since have experienced what I have experienced, I've come across a lot of siblings that have been left behind. And also in my podcast, if you know what I know, and that is I'm a part of the Fleet DJs and I'm part of the Two Fly movement, which I came across, which is our female division of Two Fly. Uh-oh, looks like I lost somebody there. Hopefully he'll get back on. We're going to have a lot of that tonight, guys. So just work with us as we go through these. That's what happens with technology. You have no control over it. So we have to roll with the punches. And look like he's back in. And we will go ahead and get started. So I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves and give a little bio of who they are and what they do. And if they have anything going on, how you'll be able to contact them. And of course, ladies first, Miss Christina Curate, take the wheel.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. My name is Christina Curates, and I am a part of, well, first of all, I'm a teacher during the day. That's my profession. But in my spare time, I am the creator of Christina Curates and Tuesday Tunes, which is a part of the Groove Suite, which is a part of the MPN network. So I'm a small branch of a bigger group, and I curate mixes on Sundays. It airs on the Sound of Duval on Sunday evenings, and it also goes to in Mixcloud and SoundCloud. So I just curate music mostly, and that's it.
Oh, all right. All right. So next in line, we have Mr. Al Pete.
Oh, when you bring the, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, it's like when you brought me close, I didn't seem so black. So
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with being dark skinned.
well, yeah. Well, first off, I appreciate y'all having me on here. Name's Mr. Al Pete, hip hop artist DJ, founder of Mr. Peterson's Neighborhood, the NPN Network, the NPN Podcast Network, all the other good stuff. Just a media driven guy, music type of guy. That's what I do. But you can find me everywhere at Mr. Alpete, MRALPETE, and mpn-llc.com.
All right. And last but definitely not the least, we have DJ Soldier Life.
Hey, how everybody doing? I go by the name DJ Soldier Life. I'm a Fleet DJ member. I'm the Florida commissioner. I'm a full-time DJ. I got basically you can follow me on every screen. Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and that's just to name a few. Got a mixtape coming out 4/27, which is on my birthday, and just here to network, try to get everybody in tune with what we got going on, and I appreciate you, Tan, for bringing me along.
All right, welcome. So our first topic tonight, without hesitating, is Venus versus Mars. Are y'all ready? Don't be scared. No, I can't hear you. I asked y'all if y'all ready.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm ready.
All right. So
yes,
those of you that are online, we need you to participate and answer the questions as well, and interact with us. The purpose of me doing the podcast live is because I love live interaction. I didn't choose to pre-record or to do it by myself because I wanted the interaction with people. All right. So if y'all are going to stay tuned in, please interact. And our first question tonight, Tanya, I'm going to allow it to be to the fellas because this is something that blew my mind when I heard it. So it was the Reduced Lunch podcast, I believe. They had a subject, and the question was, do men want to be called handsome versus sexy? And so I immediately was like, handsome, like no men want to be called sexy. So that's my opinion. I have never called a man sexy. Not that I don't think they are. I just either say you look good or you so fine to me or you're handsome. I know not to call a man cute because they say that's for a girl, but I always thought that sexy was reserved for women. So I would like to know what you guys out there, we have guys, do you like to be called sexy? And girls or women, do you call your man sexy? Or when you see a man, do you ever refer to him as sexy? All right. So which one of you guys want to go first? Or should I volunteer you?
I mean, it's your show. You pick.
I'm going to go with a fella first because this is more directed towards the men. I'm going to ask the women too, but I want to know, I'm going to go with Al Pete first. I'm very interested to hear his thoughts on, do you actually as a male want to be called sexy? And has anyone ever called you sexy? But start with the first part.
Do I want it? Well, have I? No.
I know. I put it.
I haven't.
You haven't.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I can't think off the top of my head if somebody called me that. Nah. So we're gonna take that as a no.
Okay, so no one's ever called you sexy, but as a man,
I'm sure somebody has called me sexy before, but as far as like recently, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying in your life though that you have been called sexy, like a woman has said to you, "Hey, sexy," or what have you?
Yeah, I mean, but it was something behind it.
Oh. Okay. So did you like, or do you like that as a man to be called sexy?
Right now, yes. Before, I don't. I can't say that I did before because I knew it was probably like a crazy thing behind it. I felt like something was coming with it. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know. And just to dive in, like I said, where I'm at in my life right now, I just feel like I've done a lot of great things. So I need somebody to, you know what I'm saying? So I feel that I've accomplished a lot, and I think I'm a little bit more than the handsome gesture. You know what I'm saying? Like, The handsome is cool. It's like an all around thing, but I just wanted to be, I just be wanting to be appreciated in that manner. Like if a woman came to me and said that I'm sexy, I'd be like, great. And then I kind of go back to my goals and everything I accomplished. And even with the physical status, like it's a lot of confidence in me at this moment. So yeah, I would definitely take the sexy comment right now.
Wow, I am so surprised. Okay, Tanya, I'm gonna save dice for later. Do you refer to men? Have you ever called a man sexy?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes, I think more so when I'm in conversation with a friend, I'm like, damn, he's sexy, but I have referred to men as sexy, but I don't know if I would call my platonic friends sexy because to me that seems as though that's kind of like it's a compliment, but it's a sensual compliment. Maybe I'm using the wrong term. Now, of course, handsome. I think that handsome is a word that can be used. I've called my son handsome. I've called men that are attractive handsome. And I don't see it as it being, well, again, this is a woman speaking. So I see it as a huge compliment if I say that you're handsome. And if I say that you're sexy, that's another huge compliment. But I don't say that as much because I don't want to give off the wrong vibe with it.
What kind of vibe comes with calling a man sexy?
Well, if it's someone that, like I said, if it's someone that
I mean, I have no clue here.
So I mean, but like I said, so a guy friend, really close guy friend of mine, he always, dresses to the nine. I'm not like, damn, you sexy, I'm like, looking good. I don't say that to him. I just say, you looking good. I like what you have on. You sharp, you clean, but I don't call him sexy.
Why not?
Because I would assume that when I say sexy, that's more of a like attraction thing, like, okay. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to act on that attraction.
Sexy, sex.
Sensual or, sexy. Damn, Eric Benet is sexy to me. Okay.
The reason why I asked, because in Pete's description, he said the goals that he's crushing, the things that he has accomplished, his success makes him want to be called sexy. So those things are not, have anything to do with sex, right, Pete?
Yeah, correct. I mean, but when we put the word appeal to it, I think that makes it a little more comfortable to say, or a little bit more reasonable and understanding to say. So like, it's the appeal of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily, I mean, it could be physical, it can be, characteristics or whatever the case may be. But if we put like appealing or sex appeal to it or whatever, maybe that might translate a little bit better. But of course, when you're thinking of the word sexy, you immediately don't think about like sex, you know what I'm saying? And they have that.
Right. I do. That's why I don't use it. That's why I always thought it was a female term, because the definition says sexually aroused. When you look at the word sexy, it also says sexually attractive or exciting. So I just always thought it was reserved for female. But let me go to the comments. Sunshine, the DJ, says that she refers to men as sexy. I'm thinking she says that she would call a man sexy. Pinky, the entertainer, says, yes, I will say a man is sexy too. So,
and here's another thing, Tan, it goes kind of along the lines of what Al Pete said. If a guy is handling his business, if he's doing the things he's supposed to be doing, if he's doing extra, that's attractive. So I guess that would be considered sexy. But again, going back to the definition, I reserve sexy for certain people.
Okay. All right. Well, Soldier Life, you're up. Do you like to be called sexy? Have you ever been called sexy?
Yes, I have been called sexy. Do I mind? No, but in the same time, it comes to the point of it's how a person uses it per se. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, you got a sexy body, or your eyes are very sexy. However, and I feel like how Alp said, it comes to the point of I done graduated from the and I done matured to the point where handsome. I call my son, he's handsome. You know what I mean? Like things like that. When I was growing up, my mom called me handsome. You know what I mean? And the thing, and like I feel like I done put in my work. I don't put in my time. I do a lot of stuff for a lot of people or whatever. So if a woman come and tell me, "Oh, you real sexy," I won't feel offended about it.
Okay,
But what I would feel some type of way if a woman came and said, "Oh, you're beautiful." You know what I mean?
Right.
And
That's understandable.
But it comes to the point of, because that's how I greet, what I'm saying, just females in general. Good morning, beautiful. Hey, beautiful. You know what I mean? And then for you to get that.
What in the world? That's our technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Audience, chime in.
It went out on me. But
okay.
The thing is, it comes to this, not to get all biblical or anything on it, but the Bible states, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. You know what I mean? And when I became a man, I put away childish things or whatever. So with that being said, I feel like everybody's entitled into a compliment. It's just how you put it. And I get people like, "Oh, you got abs. Oh yeah, you sexy. That's sexy, and this sexy." You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, it's like, it's how you take it and how you, go forth with it.
So when I ask the guys a question.
Go ahead, Tanya.
So let me ask the question, guys. So if a woman in your age range said to you, "You are very handsome," would that be like an insult? If she said to you, "You are very handsome"?
No, that is a compliment. It is a compliment. And like I say before, everybody, I feel like everybody is entitled into a compliment, even if you compliment yourself. Like in the morning, and when I'm brushing my teeth, I look in the mirror or whatever, like, "Oh, you're a very handsome young man." You know what I mean? I uplift myself. So for somebody else to come and give me a compliment, I take it and with a stride. You know what I mean? Because I feel like everybody deserves that type of compliment.
But you kind of referred to it by saying, "My mom calls me handsome. I call my son handsome." Like it wasn't such a complimentary thing for you at this time in your life, though. That's what I heard.
It comes to the point of basically what Alp was saying. Has stated. You know what I mean? It's like, I was called handsome and this and that, but now I feel like I don't put in the work. I'm a grown man. I'm not saying that I'm going to take away from the handsomeness or whatever, but I feel like if I'm having this general conversation with somebody, just say, for instance, I met you, Tan, and we having a conversation. I'm not going to knock that. You say, "Oh, you're a very handsome young man," or "You're a very handsome man." You know what I mean? I'm going to take it, but I'll take sexy as well. I'll take sexy as well.
Did you say I told you were handsome?
No, I'll just put it in a term.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, I probably didn't have glasses on.
So me and Alp is not handsome to you?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You very handsome to me.
She is being hilarious.
I'm just saying. All right, so men that are watching, we just had a couple of guys. We had a couple of girls to chime in. I know it's some men out there. I hate that I can't see who actually joined. The question is, do you mind being called sexy? And has a woman ever called you sexy? So that's our Venus and Mars first topic of the night. Now, if we flip it, I know it's going to be easy that a male has called a woman sexy. But to be honest, I don't think anybody has ever called me sexy. I've been called beautiful. I've been called cute, pretty, or all right looking, but men don't typically refer to me as sexy. It could be by combat boots and my tomboy nature. I'm not sure, but I've never been called sexy. And I once had somebody to say to me, do you realize that people refer to me as sexy, speaking of herself, and to you as beautiful? And I said, I think I'd rather be beautiful, because beautiful is universal. It's inside and out. And sexy, doesn't always last. You know what I'm saying? The older you get, your bodies change. Is sexy for women a body type, like how she looking or how she carries herself? Because I'm hearing you guys say, Pete, you're saying it's success, what I've done, what I've accomplished. But Soldier Life, you referred to your abs and your looks as far as the sexy part. So that's a little something. So for me, sexy always refers to sex. And I think if a guy says that I'm sexy, I automatically think he wants to sleep with me. So you guys can help me on this. Do you call women sexy that, and I think that's what I want to know. And Tanya, for you, do men call you sexy, and are you okay if they did? We're going to go with Soldier Life first this time.
Well, I feel like, I have called plenty of females or women sexy, you know what I mean? And it wasn't on the notation of, oh yeah, I want to get in her pants, you know what I mean? If she's sexy, sexy is more of a, it's universal. But it's more used for a woman. You know what I mean? It's not on a norm that you're going to hear that, a female come to a male and be like, oh, you just sexy. They might use handsome, gorgeous, and words of that nature. But me personally, I have called a lot of people sexy. And people might be like, oh, it's just the charm or however. But in the same time, it's like, I use sexy almost on the same time as beautiful, but I'd rather use.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me sexy and beautiful is interchangeable to you, that you call a woman sexy that you don't want to sleep with, or you're not sexually attractive to?
Exactly. But at the same time, it's something that made me come up and have this conversation with you that make the say, oh, how you doing, sexy? You know what I mean? But me personally, that's not my approach. I don't approach a female and be like, oh, hey, sexy. You know what I mean? I feel like that is like coming on too strong, because just like you said, sexy, sex. You know what I mean? I'd rather use the term, hey, beautiful, how you doing? My name's such and such, and go from there. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's everybody. I feel like everybody have that intentions on when they meet that person.
What intention?
It all depends. You know what I mean? It all depends, because it'd be like, okay, she's a very attractive person or whatever, but in the same time, she could be attractive. And after the conversation, you'd be like, oh, she's dumber than a box of rocks. So that's all off rip takes away a whole lot for me. You know what I mean? If I can't have a general conversation with you, now the sexiness that I just had in my brain about you just went completely away.
So you're saying you think it, but you say, hey, beautiful, she can start talking and she's no longer sexy to you.
And she's no longer beautiful.
Or beautiful?
Because, it's both, because you can start talking and, trying to have these general conversations with this person. And then they're no longer like, you be like, you know what? Get her drink. You have a great night. And I'm going to go about my way.
So I'm finding out that it's more in depth, and I think it's not surface.
No, for a lot of people,
it's kind of saying, it's about accomplishments, the way a person speaks, how they carry themselves. It's not just about looks. And maybe that's my problem with the word, because I'm thinking it's all about looks and sex. So I haven't really given the word a fair chance, actually, now that I'm listening to you guys talk. And I think it's so important that men and women have conversations like that, because I'm telling you, if you walk up to me and about like, hey, sexy, I'm about to be rolling my eyes. Really, I don't see it as a compliment that a stranger should say right off the bat. And maybe I should re-look at the word. I'm learning something. All right, Miss Tanya.
So you asked me first, have I been called sexy? Yes, I have. It's a compliment. It's a compliment that's like, okay, well, he thinks I'm sexy. But again, sometimes it depends on who's saying it. also. Um,
Exactly.
and I honestly think that's somewhat the case for men as well, you know. But that's just my opinion. You know, I'm not speaking, you know. But
So if a man calls you sexy, you don't, do you think that he wants to sleep with you?
it depends on who it is. Again, I don't have any of my friends, my platonic friends, that will say to me, "You sexy, Tanya." They won't. They'll say, you know, "You're looking good. You look pretty, beautiful." But sexy? No, I've had people say to me, okay, if I'm talking about what I do for a living, damn, that's sexy, you know, that to hear you talk like that. But again, like I said, it's not, it's just, I don't know. You don't want to make too much of it, but I get the fact that for a woman also, you want to be looked at in your accomplishment and say, you know, I think it's sexy that you holding your own. So I think that kind of goes with the women as well. But when a man is in the club, or if somebody is trying to holler at me and be like, "Damn, sexy," you know, of course it sounds like he wants to take it further.
Question.
Take it further? I don't understand. What does that mean?
He has sexual intentions.
Real quick, Tiffany Hickson says, I am not going to call a man sexy that I am not attracted to. I agree with the panelists. So sexy again is attraction. Go ahead, Soldier Life.
Well, I got a question for Tanya for the simple fact of you say it all depends on who it is or who's calling you sexy. But if a man's coming and hey sexy or whatever, you're just gonna off rip think that he just want to sleep with you?
Me?
No, he said Tanya.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you said Tanya or Tanya?
Tanya. And on top of that, before you answer that, it comes to the point of that too. So if the opposite sex come and say hey sexy or whatever, and you don't basically you don't give him a chance to open up that conversation with you, then you basically really wouldn't know where he was headed.
Okay, right. So I don't say at this age, if a man says, "Hey, sexy, how you doing?" Okay, that's a compliment. Thank you. Hi. But I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'm going to walk away from him and just not talk to him." That's kind of I wouldn't do that. Now, if that was a word that he continuously used and I could hear his conversation going in the direction of, okay, this is just kind of sensual early, then it's it's like, okay, well, I see where his head is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I would not rule him out completely, because he just may be flirtatious, or that may just be how he talks. I don't know, but I mean, it's not like guys are walking around every time they see me, "Hey, sexy." No, that's not that's not the case. But I would
go ahead. No, finish.
No, I was just gonna say I would not like completely rule out what he has to say. No.
Well, Soldier Life, can you ask me the same question and let me answer?
I just asked you the same question.
He has the biggest strike. I'll probably give him 2 strikes. If a man walks up to me and automatically like, "Hey, sexy," I think that's lazy. I think it's like, I don't know what it is with that word with me. It's just like, dude, you don't even, you know, I don't know. It's just so surface to me and shallow. I am so serious.
And not to cut you off, Tan, the thing is, just like I said at the time, you know what I mean? Okay, the man come to you and say, "Hey, sexy, how you doing?" or whatever, and you just off rip just give him the cold shoulder without even trying to see what that book is about. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I probably miss out.
He could be very intelligent. He could be, he could be a CEO or something or whatever. And it's like, or he could be that next big thing in your life. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know. You gotta pray for me.
But
even if I meet a guy and, if I meet a guy online, or, when I first give him my number, if he goes, "Good morning, beautiful," I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so overused.
But I guess the thing is, just take it as, yes, it is something that men use a lot of times, especially when they're trying to get to know somebody, but just take it as just something that he says. I wouldn't take it too like, you know, oh, I'm not gonna talk to him because he said, "Hey, beautiful." You know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't rule him out completely. I would just say, okay, you know, how you doing? Just like if you said, "Good morning, handsome." Well, there's the word again. I mean, or you say like, "Good morning, whatever." You know what I mean? I wouldn't take it so. But I think for me, it's like sexy if a guy said that, and if he. Oh, here's another example. What if you know the person? So you know how small Jacksonville is, right?
That's
you know how small Jacksonville is,
Mm-hmm.
and you see somebody that may be a friend of mine that knows that you're a friend of mine, and he sees you out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, at the grocery store, say, and he
Mm-hmm.
walk up behind you and say, "Hey, sexy," but he might just be saying it because he might be playing, or you know, would you take offense to that?
Well, let me just say this: Soldier Life and Pete, and even Dr. Khadijah is saying the men are making a point. I am truly learning something tonight. If a man walked up to me and you know, he wasn't a perfect stranger, like he was a friend of yours, and he walked up behind me, was like, "Hey, sexy," I would be like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is about. I mean, well, I'm telling you, when I heard, you know, the conversation about it, it was so intriguing to me that I'm like, I need to search deep down inside of me to figure out why it's so annoying to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ask me my name, or, you know, if you're trying to flirt, come up with something different. Hi, how are you? Or maybe I'm square. Maybe, you know, Pete, you know, like, this is not the 1980s. Maybe, you know, I'm a, you know, 70s baby and want it old school, or want, you know, my name to be used. But it is something about pet names from a stranger that annoys the mess out of me. I don't know
So
what it is.
I think that might be going into another conversation too, because yes, the pet names from a stranger is annoying. Because yes,
Let
but
me be honest. I have been like this since high school. The word in high school was boo. Guys called every girl that they made, "Hey, boo." And I think now that I'm thinking about it, somebody put in my head that a guy is not using your name so he won't mix you up with other people. So he uses the same name for everybody. And that's what I'm thinking about, the "Hey, beautiful," the "boo," or whatever. But first, let's let Pete answer, and then we'll circle back with the rebuttals. So, Pete, do you use that often when you're, or have you used it? And I'll just say, do you call women sexy?
Yeah, I mean, I've used it, you know, but it's just in general terms. So when it comes to, so like handsome and beautiful, like they're like at a they like top tier, you know what I'm saying? Like, so in the handsome and in the beauty category, sexy is in there, and you know what I'm saying, it's in that list of things. So does that make sense? Like when you're handsome, it's like you embody sexy, cute, pretty, and all, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. But then, you know, for beautiful as well, you embody all the other words that come up on it to a certain degree. So yeah, I've used it for women. I look at, you know, a lot of women that think they, you know, they sexy. And I just say it like that, but I don't have any type of motive to like sleep with them or whatever. But they are appealing at the time when I see them, you know what I'm saying? And they give off that appeal.
And do you tell them, like, you know, like, you know, are a DJ, you're out a lot. Do you know, ever say to a woman as a compliment, "Hey, sexy," or?
Because I feel like if I did that in public, it goes so it goes so.
Right. So you kind of contradicting a little bit when, so sexy to you, if you were to say that to a woman, you would feel that she would think that you were sexually attracted to her. Is that what I'm hearing? Are we frozen? Oh no.
I answer for him though.
Oh, we're back.
You just not gonna get on RP like that now.
No. I'm just asking because can you hear me, Pete? Oh, he's frozen again. Well, answer for him, Soldier.
Well, it's like this. Like, sexy is it's almost it comes to the point of far as what I can't really speak for him because he is his own man. However, it comes to the point of like I DJ and I might see a female in the club or whatever, and I'm like, damn, she's sexy. I might even tell one of my homeboys, damn, she's sexy as hell. You know what I mean? But me personally, I went in and stepped to her and say, hey, sexy. Me personally, I come, hey, how you doing, beautiful?
Listen, Khadijah just made the best compliment. She said, the next time I'm called sexy, I'm going to smile with gratitude. I'm telling you, I am rethinking this whole thing too. Like, I probably missed out on a good person because I automatically judged him for just, approaching me that way.
And
We
Tan,
learn.
You said this, Tan. You said this. You said, back in the day in the 70s, men used to use the term, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And did they use it for the simple fact that, they didn't want to get the females mixed up? In the same time, there's a thin line and there's a fine line between a boy and a man. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, if I'm a man or whatever, and I know what I want in life, and I'm having this conversation just per se with you or whatever, I would never use the word boo because I'm not trying to mix up your name. I'm trying to give you my last name. So therefore, the boo and all this wouldn't even occur. So we have to get off of what we've been on into
Amen. I agree.
It is now.
Preach. And that's why I said, that's something that's called hindering beliefs that make you miss out on great people, by just putting a general thing on everybody that uses that word because I believed it meant a sexual attraction. When Pete is telling me it's success, you're telling me it's about her intelligence. Tanya is saying she doesn't mind being called that either because it's a compliment. And if you receive it that way, then you won't get such a shock to your system when someone calls you that. So I'm just living and learning still at this age, and I'm going to look at that word differently as we go forward. That's all I can do.
So, oh, my bad. So let me throw this in real quick.
Okay.
When it comes to the sexy part, a little the appearance and the physical does play a role with me too, like just a tad bit, not a lot, but overall it is the mentality or whatever. It is the goals and it's the, the accomplishments. But at the same time too, I can throw on some thread and and want to feel wanted a little bit. And I questioned that feeling like a lot last year. Like I was just like, this is a different feeling for me because before I never wanted to be called sexy like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and if I was, it was cool. But I mean, you can't really just deny the feeling. I know for me, I can't deny that feeling that I had. And I was just like, it would just feel good for somebody to be like, I mean, not like everybody, but to feel wanted in that regards, regardless if it is somebody want to sleep with me or be like, oh, okay, well, he just accomplishing all these goals. He killing shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Al is really like killing shit, and that shit is like a turn on. Whether it's a turn on like you want to get with me, or turn on like let me turn my shit on. You know what I'm saying? Or just give you that extra type of feel. You know what I'm saying?
So that's, I think it's interesting. Hold on a second, because to your comment, somebody, Dr. T. Porter, she just said men are physical, women are more emotional. And that's how I thought. But after listening to you guys tonight, it's like, yeah, it's physical, but it's also in depth as well. Go ahead, Tanya.
I was just going to say, thank you guys. I know I feel like I'm lagging, but anyway, thank you guys for this and with the conversation with the guys on Reduced Lunch, because they're a little bit younger than I am. So to hear men say, express themselves in terms of sexy could mean a couple of things for Peter saying, and for DJ
Soldier Life.
I was going to call his first name, but it's the accomplishment part. So that gives me as a woman, okay, yes. So now I need to start not using it on everybody. No, I'm not saying that, but that's just a compliment that I need to keep in the back of my head. That if I do see someone, whether I'm attracted to that person or not, doing good, and holding his own, it's just a compliment. You know, damn, that's sexy. You're doing good. You know what I mean? Or if I want it to be something more, then definitely gonna use it again. So I'm gonna put it in my pockets.
So I have a twist to this, Tanya. So I asked, you know, so it's simple for women to say a man's sexy or he's fine or he's looking good. As a female, can you say that about another woman?
Yes,
You can.
I can. Do I say it to a woman that I don't know? No. I mean, I like what night that we went to for R&B mostly. I saw a young lady walk by and she looked like a model. She was just like, you know, doing this. I was like, you know, I love your walk. Now, did I say, damn, you sexy? No. But I felt like Trey Songz for a little bit. No.
Did you think it though? When you saw her, did you go, she's sexy?
I just thought she was attractive and I thought that she carried herself well.
Okay. Well, men, I know that I'm not going to ask that for you, but can you say that another man is handsome or good looking?
I mean, I wouldn't go and say, you know what I'm saying, hey, you know, you handsome, brother. But I mean, men know when another man is handsome. Like we can't, you know, like all that bullshit them other guys be talking, like, fuck all that. Like we can look at the guy and be like, yeah, that guy handsome. You know what I'm saying? Like he handsome, and you think that he handsome, but at the same time too, you know that everybody else around him is thinking the same thing too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I mean, I think it. I mean, we probably say it jokingly. You know, you go to your homeboy and like, let's just say all y'all going out or whatever, and you know, he's spiffy, like, all right, nigga, handsome ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? But on the real, yeah, when it comes to game recognized game, man. You know, you just you look at guys and you know the aura. You know what time it is with them. You know what I'm saying? You just respect it. I compliment men all the time now, as far as me saying handsome to them. Nah, but I mean, like, I'd be like, man, you doing it. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, give them that encouragement or whatever.
So Tanya, what about, because he made a point about to his friends, could you do it to your sister or to your somebody you're very close to and say, girl, that looks sexy? You be comfortable with that?
I was shaking my head to your friend Khadijah when she said that I will say it to my friends, but not a random woman. I think that probably, now, like, I'm in conversation with my girlfriends, or even if it's a guy, and if I see somebody on TV, Rihanna or someone, like, damn, she's sexy, you know, I could say that in conversation. But to some random woman, no.
I tell you what, I'm going to rethink that word. All right, DJ Soldier Life. It's, you know, can you tell another man he's handsome, or have you? Is that taboo?
I feel like no. I mean, I never, said like out my mouth, it's like, hey, you're handsome. You know what I mean? Or you're a handsome dude, you know, whatever. But just like, I mean, I'm almost like what RP has stated. It came to the point of I'm out with we about to go out. I got my homeboys with me or whatever, and you know, they dressed up. They you know what I'm saying? They look good. They look nice or whatever. But when you're doing that, like hey, wait, look, hey, boy, I like them shoes you got on. You know what I'm saying? But on the same time, I'm coming up, and I feel like, I mean, it's a masculine thing. You know what I mean? It's nothing to compliment your brother or whatever, but just to be in a club and be like, for example, I was out somewhere, and you know, I was dressed up, had a suit tie on or whatever, and I seen this one guy. I'm like, damn, that's a nice ass suit. You know what I mean? Damn, he killing that outfit right there. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? He could have been handsome, but me personally, to be like, hey, bro, damn, bro, you handsome as hell. What? No, it's just not gonna go down like that. Like I say, my son, you know, remember? Oh yeah, got a handsome little boy. You know what I mean?
Men be having them translations, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we just know, man. Like, you know, you got that one homeboy in the clip that, you know, everywhere y'all go, the women gonna hawk him, and he probably gonna smash one of them. And it's just like, that's the equivalent. You gonna be like, look, that man finna go out and get something. And, you know, that might be a compliment of saying he's sexy. I mean, but you know, we just had that translation like that. But you do, like, men know it just, you know, I guess it is kind of taboo. But to even go back to your point about telling our sons and stuff like that they handsome. That shit is very important. Like we definitely need to be telling our sons and hugging them and really just really building them up. And so I agree with that part, because I know when they get out in that world, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna walk handsome. They're gonna walk in that handsome gesture, and they're gonna think about every time that older man told them that, and they're gonna understand that language or whatever. So I do agree with telling like the sons and telling like younger kids or anybody, just letting them know, man, like, I call them young boys kings. I'm like, look, what's up, king? Like, strive on, king. Let's go, king. To the top, king. That type of shit. So, but yeah, men, we got our own translations, man.
Okay.
It ain't direct, because y'all girls will go up to each other and be like, girl, you sexy.
Hey, I'll see they be like, hey, bitch, you fine, girl.
So Pete, your signal went out. You kind of got saved. I was asking a question around sex and saying to a woman that she's sexy and how women can misinterpret it. And, I was asking, is that the reason when you said, no, I don't say it to random people, because women can misinterpret what you mean if you say to her, hey, I think you're sexy. And then your phone went out. So
yeah, that's the main reason why I'm saying.
So all of you have sons. You don't have a daughter. I don't know if you have a godchildren or that's female, or a young girl that is, that you mentor or have an important role in her life. Being that you said that sexy is not always sexual, would you say to this young female that is sexy, your success or your intelligence makes you sexy? Would you, say those things to her?
Nah, as a man, especially if we close to him, we'd be like, you trying to be sexy out here in the streets? Put them clothes on.
Exactly.
Right.
So that word is kind of interchangeable a lot depending upon how you feel about the word. DJ Soldier Life, you want to chime in about that?
That's all. I feel how I agree with LP 150%. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's just with any word you use. It's how you use it. It's your whole dialect on how you say it. You know what I mean? And I mean, there's no like if I sit and text you and say, hey, sexy, I mean, you know what that means. It's hey, sexy. You know what I mean? But if I sent you the message and hey, sexy in all caps, then that means something. You know what I mean? It's all how you use it.
Because it's not a perfect stranger. It's a woman you already know.
Right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's even with like a perfect stranger or whatever. Like me personally, I'm not about to walk up to a female and say, hey, sexy.
Yeah.
I'm not. Even if she is sexy, I'll use beautiful before sexy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And why would you? Why not just say hello?
I mean, because hello is like, okay, that's easy. It's easy to say hello. But if you have to think about it, right? You just had a long day from work. I mean, you just going out for a girls' night or whatever. You know what I mean? And a nice looking guy come up to you and say, hey, beautiful, how's your day? You know what I mean? Or should he come to you and say, hello? That's
I told you. I'm going to have to revamp. I already told you about me.
That's
hello, how are you? Will get you further with me than hello, beautiful or hello, sexy. I'm just, I'm not there. Yes.
Tam, what would you say when somebody's, if a guy say, hey, how you doing? Like, what would you say? Would you say what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, I'll be like, I am fine. Thank you for asking. Somebody cared about my day. Okay. But if he automatically goes into the hey beautifuls and the hey sexy, he's kind of lost me a little bit. That's just me. Like I said, I'm gonna have to, research in my brain to why. But for me, I see it. I'm gonna be honest. This is nothing towards you, Soldier Life, but I see it as a sign of immaturity. Just simply say hello. That's just
for me. Listen, for me, I get that. I'm a hey, how you doing type of guy. But you know what? It'd be so funny when the women come back to me and be like, what's going on? And I'd be like, dog, you speaking to me like a man.
See, and I told you, I'm a
But
little.
that go back to that old fashioned style that you're talking
Yeah.
about. Like,
Well,
you know
I've also been told that I have a bit more of testosterone that I should have.
So wait, let me
So
ask this question. I'm sorry.
go
So
ahead.
if Pete and Soldier Life, if if a woman, if you know greet a woman via text or even if you see her and she says, "What up?" is that like is that standoffish or is that her trying to be hard? What is that?
I feel like that's yeah, I feel like that's a hard thing. I feel like she's trying to like not try to be too like you know what I'm saying, sensual or like woman or girl is. She like, okay, well, I'm coming around the guy, like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, I done came to you and said, hey, how are you? Hey, miss, what's going on? Like, I done changed my tone and you come talking about what's happening. Like, I be like,
Listen,
like,
But you have to understand this too. It can't be just a random chick that would be like, what up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, okay, if this is my home girl, like if this Tanya, and I'm like, what's up? You like, what up? Like, shit, nothing, chilling. You know what I mean?
right.
Just a regular female that come up to me and be like, what up? I'm be like,
Now, y'all want to hear something funny? I say, good morning, handsome.
Okay, so from here, so Tan, from here on out, so we can transition from here on out. If a man, whether you know him or not, says to you, "Good morning, beautiful," don't take it negative.
Tanya, I'm marking my calendar. I'm marking my notes. Hey, I mean, Dr. Khadijah says, tell guys a simple hello is great. She also says a certain kind of woman likes a guy to be confident, to simply say, hello, can I talk to you for a minute?
can I say something real quick? And I totally agree with that 110%.
No, you just said say hello. No.
Listen now. Listen, no, because listen, it's the environment, it's the atmosphere. Okay, if I'm in a club and it's just you already know what the atmosphere is. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's your settings. I believe it's your settings. Because me personally, I'm not going to come. Okay, I ran like just a little history. I ran 3 Hilton properties. You know what I mean? I couldn't go into these conferences and these meetings with these people with my pants hanging down, which I don't do that anyway. But I can't go in there talking to them like and this and you feel me? You know what I mean? I have to go in there presentable. You know what I mean? And not saying that every woman don't deserve that presentation. It just the fact of the conversation that you done had with this person, how this person then looked at you for you to come to her like that.
So let me put on my glasses so I can make sure I'm hearing you properly. So what you're saying is it's appropriate in the club setting to say, hey, beautiful, hey, sexy, but in the corporate setting, it's not. That's what I'm hearing, right?
You can't go in a corporate setting and go in there and say
right. I'm just asking you so I can ask the question. So that's what you're saying.
Absolutely. And it comes with knowing your surroundings and being able to adapt to your
what I'm hearing that any woman that's in the club is not worthy of not being treated as a corporate woman.
No, I didn't say that. I said not saying.
Boy, we going in
this is exactly what I said.
Tan said she ain't going to the club no more.
Every woman can get presented in that such. And that presented in such. However, it comes to the fact you have to know your environment.
So Khadijah, read her
said,
statement.
yes, the atmosphere for sure with many, but never forget the environment should never change who you are within. Yes. That was to you, DJ Soldier Life. What do you have to say about that? Julian says, just be genuine. Go from A to Z. Expound more on that, Julian. Go from A to Z. What does that mean? While Soldier Life takes the foot out of his mouth.
See, you trying to see? Listen, we got them Joe and Trey Songz vibes going on right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Julia said doing what comes naturally. So Soldier Life, you're telling me that depending on what atmosphere you're in is how you gonna holler at the lady. That's what I heard.
Like I say, you have to adapt to your atmosphere, and it comes to the point of this as well. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm in a club, or I'm in a club with my guys or whatever. We just having a good time, blah blah blah. And if she come on, if she's not basically playing the part of for me to come to talk to her like a lady, I mean, then how do you react? Well, how
That's
do you
not
react?
fair. You're deflecting. If she's sitting at the bar just having a
She's
drink,
not sitting at the bar. If she's sitting at the bar, I'm gonna walk to her and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
oh,
But if
Soldier Life, do I need to rewind the tape on you?
no,
we going in a whole.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna say to somebody at the bar?
What?
I'm gonna be like,
What would that be?
can you move over? I'm trying to get me a drink, man. Excuse me.
So that means that you're not a woman in the bar don't even have a chance in this world if she's just going out. Oh gosh. So that's not right. I'm not really happy about this revelation. Now I'm telling y'all that I'm gonna let a guy call me sexy, but I shouldn't let him call me that in the club. I'm confused now. Y'all gotta help me out here.
I think it's he's saying. He's not saying that. I don't know what he's saying. If the conversation went from
that's when the attentions come in at. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's when the attentions come in. So if you're going into somebody saying, hey, sexy, all that.
But does it matter if it's the club or the grocery store or church?
I mean, it could. I mean, not for me, but I can see what he's saying in regards to the club. I mean, you know what time it is in the club. Like
in the club,
all hats go out the door and all that stuff. But if you see a woman at Publix and she picking up some grapes, you like, what's up,
beautiful? Should be worse than the woman that's sitting in the club.
But you can't, right? But you're right. I guess.
Come on now.
I'm not saying I do that. I'm not saying I do that at all. But I'm just saying this is what people would think.
So basically, like you say, you're a little more standoffish, right?
No, you said I'm standoffish. That's your definition.
You said that you're standoffish. So basically,
no,
if
I did not.
Came to you and say, "Hey, beautiful," or whatever, you're gonna do this. But if somebody came and you say, "Hey, hello, my name is DJ Soldier Life,"
that doesn't have anything to do with me being standoffish.
I'm about to make my point.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And so I come to you and say, hey, how you doing? My name DJ Soldier Life, blah, 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 whoop, whoop, or whatever. And then you be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Or whatever. And then we have a conversation and we like not basically get to know each other, but, the vibe was good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it comes to the point of, okay, now I know how to basically approach her. It's not basically sexually. You know what I mean?
So let me just say this. If a guy walks up to me and says, hey, beautiful, as opposed to, hey, how are you? We have a conversation. And in the conversation, he says, I think you're very beautiful. It's a difference. That's a difference to me. Julian says, your approach will be important. Be careful. Octavius said, and Me Too movement. He hashtagged Me Too movement. Julian says, just ask her out because you can't interview her in 3 minutes. Get the number and call later. I agree. I'm saying the connotation that it's used in. Hey, sexy. Even I would even take after a long conversation, I think that you're really sexy, as opposed to, hey, sexy, you don't know anything about me. You haven't talked to me. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that approach is maybe what I should focus on. Not the fact that he could compliment me down the line once he gets to know me. But if he starts out with that, I automatically think that sex is on his brain. I automatically think that he wants, I know all men want to have sex. I want to have sex. It's not a problem with me, but your approach, like Julian said, is very important. So I'm going to give you 2 strikes off the top if you like, hey, sexy. I think it's lazy. Period.
Okay.
And Soldier Life, I know that you know me, you've been around me, and I mean, you've told me before I'm a little standoffish, and it maybe I just, and I've been called, mean or what have you, or unapproachable when I think I'm the nicest person in the world. So it's good knowledge to have somebody on the outside looking in and telling you, but you also got to realize if you have struck out before, that may be why.
If who struck out before?
If a man out there is listening that has struck out, and you have
I was just asking who struck out.
Next topic. That's all.
I was referring to you, but I don't know. Well, how long have we been on, guys? What time is it? Oh, it's time. It's up. We have talked about this for an hour and 11 minutes. So Venus versus Mars was very successful. Oh my God. They say when you're having fun. I didn't even get to debut my song tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I want you guys to chime in online. I also want my panelists to chime in and let me know. This song is by Camo. He is a Fleet artist, and the name of the song is Mad. And I'm mad at DJ Soldier Life right now for calling me because
she is not happy with you.
Call me sexy. But here we go. I'm gonna play the song. We gotta get ready to go out. Check, Camo. Fleet artist. The name of the song is Mad. So you out there, you guys let me know. Let Camo know, and you guys let me know. I came in the game, one of a kind. They throwing shade, they see my shine, put in the work. So this is a Jacksonville artist. He's not signed yet. They say I couldn't do it, you can see me now. I do it for myself when I make them proud. Didn't need a gun, just to kill it now. Like I said, get them all when they feel it's now. So they go, run it up, so they get the song, man. That ain't nothing. Give it up, say, bro, been in my bag, ain't getting mad. Been in my bag, ain't getting mad. They get mad. They didn't work. Moving the top, they bring on my dirt. My life is a movie, I'm living it up. Just minding my business while running it up. Remember them days with nothing at all. They treated me different, returning my calls. Just smile on my face, but want me to fall. You sitting here fat, but you in the dogs. 16 years plus on the test. Go hard, man, born like Shakespeare. In a drink like LeBron as a Cavalier. And you didn't see it coming out of Swiss gear. This is my year. Foot on the gas, ain't hitting the brakes. Watch till I fall, whatever it takes. By the time that you see me, it's probably too late. I'm ready in the game and left with the bank. Run it up, so we get the song made up. That ain't nothing. Get it up, say bro, been in my bag, ain't getting mad. Been in my bag, ain't getting mad. I'm living, they paying attention. Get out my dick, just put in position. Breaking the rules is part of the mission. I don't know a lot, then I start running to play with the love. I know they pretending you want me to fall, be hoping and wishing. Put on the gas, the tunnel of my vision. So shit with the flow, I feel the tradition. All right. So that's Camo. He is available on all streams. Guys, I just want to thank you guys for joining me this evening. I thank all of you guys who have commented. Leave in the comments what you think about the song. And you guys, thank you for joining me for Venus versus Mars. And I will see you guys next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Share.